Welcome to Voices for Change 2.0, the only podcast that focuses on mental health while mixing in movies, music, books, sports, and pop culture. Here are your hosts, Rebecca and Joe Lombardo.
Hey, good morning, and welcome to Voices for Change 2.0. Well, good morning to those of you in the appropriate time zone.
Right. Good morning to everybody on this side of the pond, and over on the other side of the pond, if you're listening, good afternoon. Thanks for being with us.
Today we're speaking with someone that I've had the pleasure of getting to know recently, and she is, to coin a phrase, absolutely fabulous. She is taking the time out of her busy day in England to be with us here today. She is an advocate, a mentor, a trainer, a blogger, and now an author. So please welcome to our show, Karen Unrue.
Hello, it's good to be here.
Thanks for being here, Karen. My wife has told me all good things to say about you, so I'm excited to get started.
Do you have any questions for us before we move on?
Hey, wait. Am I getting paid for this?
We're not even getting paid for this, so no.
Unfortunately not, no.
I wish we were all getting paid for this. That would be nice.
Yeah, you're being paid for the pleasure of our company.
We will pay you in laughs.
No, I have no questions, so fire away. Yeah. No, fire away.
Okay. Well, we've spoken about the fact that you experienced mental health related symptoms earlier on in life, but you were only just recently properly diagnosed. Would you like to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Yes. And one of the reasons is because quite a few of my Twitter followers have mentioned about how difficult it is to have misdiagnosis or to have a change in diagnosis. And yes, my mother was bipolar, and I was raised in a very strict fundamentalist, evangelical, hellfire and brimstone upbringing. So my mother's sudden absences due to depression, which were not explained to us, caused me to have quite early on a lack of a sense of safety and a fear of abandonment. And then also, the fact that I was told, or we were all told, God loves you dearly, but my goodness me, you better not step out of line or you feel his wrath. So even my existential safety didn't feel safe. And I would periodically have terrible times of triggers that would cause deep fears and terrors and anxiety. And I've had several nervous breakdowns over the years. I'm 60, so I've had a lot of chance to have many. And they were treated for what they were, and yet there was no real explanation. And it's only in the last year and a half, following a terrible breakdown in October of 2015, that and I insisted that my therapist take it to a panel of trauma therapists. I said, I can't do this again. I can't put my family through this again. And so she said, okay. And they read my case and discussed it and said, no, this is unquestionably complex PTSD. And because therapy is more accurately directed and my reading and research and learning of coping mechanisms far more targeted, I am coping well with managing my triggers.
Well, that's good. That's
good to hear.
That's really good. I mean, it sucks that you went through all that, and believe me, I understand the whole fire and brimstone fear thing. I was brought up Catholic, and my mom is a former nun, and I love her to death. She's very, she wasn't one of those how do I explain it? She wasn't the stereotypical mean nun type that you see depicted like in TV shows with Catholic schools and whatnot. You know, she was very caring and compassionate, but you know, just being brought up in you know, a Catholic way, you know, there were certain things that you did and didn't do. And I remember being a real little kid, and it was close to Easter, and I got upset about something, and I dropped a JC bomb in front of my mom and my grandmother, and it did not go well. I don't think I ever told you this. I can
imagine.
But I got my rear end handed to me and then some. So after that, I was like, okay, don't say that around anybody anymore ever. And
no.
that was something. So, have things like getting treatment become easier for you now that you're more informed of what's going on with you?
What do you mean as in easier? Do you mean in like, getting the right people to work with, or?
Right, yes. Exactly.
Well, I'm very blessed in that I am not stuck in the British mental health system, which is criminally underfunded. And you typically have to wait sometimes 6 to 9 months for any talking therapy. I'm blessed enough that I have a terrific private therapist. And so she was always a good therapist. And, of course, I made strides. But we couldn't understand why it is that I was so susceptible to seemingly innocuous triggers. And since being properly diagnosed, she's still a terrific therapist. But the beauty of it is that now the work is targeted and directed far more accurately and relevantly. So, yes, I'm very blessed in that. Plus, reading material. There's a terrific book by a chap called Daniel Siegel called Mind Sight, which I highly, highly recommend, not just to people with PTSD, but certainly to people with PTSD. And his book has revolutionized my thinking and been very much part of setting me quite free, actually. Yeah.
Good. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
good
awesome.
To hear.
You know, it always helps, and that's one nice thing about our show is whenever there's something that's working for any of our guests, you know, a book they've read or movie that they've seen or anything like that, we love when they bring it up and actually talk about it a little bit because, you know, it might not be something that any of our listeners are familiar with. So it's another avenue for them. So thank you very much for bringing that.
I'm certainly not through the woods, and I stress very much. I do a live broadcast every Saturday night, except tonight because I'm away, on Twitter Scope at 7 p.m. GMT time. And I stress very much that recovery is not so much about living with the complete absence of symptoms in the same way that if you break a bone, it heals and then you don't suffer anymore. That mental health recovery is something that's lifelong. And so I still know that I am susceptible to triggers, but I go into situations that maybe I would have avoided with more confidence, knowing that now I have the tools to deal with triggers. There's no guarantees. I know that I could become really ill again, but it's given me hope that I know how to walk through the labyrinth with a torch. You know what I mean? I'm not in the dark anymore.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right.
And the torch comes in really handy if you're cold.
Yes.
Good
so I feel equipped. This is the thing. I feel equipped as opposed to helpless.
Right.
Good.
That's good. You know, and
that's what we were looking for.
Yeah, just you're prepared. You know that if something is coming up and there's something that's going to trigger you, you can better handle it than maybe previously. You know,
oh
and that's,
God, yes.
You know, that's something important that we all try for.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a challenging process because I've had to not only learn coping mechanisms, but unlearn a lifetime of unhealthy coping mechanisms that didn't serve me, but were my go-to
Right.
coping mechanisms. So, you know, surviving mental health and walking in recovery is not for sissies. It's
No.
tough stuff.
No,
You know,
that's for sure.
we're warriors. We're warriors,
right.
and we fight invisible battles. And nobody who has a mental health issue is weak, even if all they do in the day is get up and have a cup of coffee. You know, that takes strength. So, yeah. So I'm still on my journey.
That's good, though.
Yeah. You've spent quite a few years helping other people. Would you consider that to be your passion?
Oh, without a doubt. That and chocolate.
I'm with you on the chocolate.
Yeah. I mean, I can remember, actually, while I was stuck in my abusive marriage in my sort of mid to late 20s, I can remember seeing something on television that I won't bother going into because it's not necessary, and falling to my knees and weeping and saying, oh, God, if I can be a part of helping adults mend and heal from the kind of childhood abuses or marital abuses or whatever that destroys self-esteem, you know, this is what I want to do. It's a real passion. It's been my journey. It's not been easy, but I have a real heart for people that are caught in the same place and feeling hopeless. So really my passion is to ignite hope in people again.
That's a very strong passion to have, and absolutely admire you for that. You know, it's not easy what people afflicted with various mental illnesses go through. You know, I see it. I'm there for her, you know, and I try and have her back and be supportive and handle whatever she needs help.
Oh, sorry,
with
you're breaking
handling.
up a little bit. I missed that last few
Oh.
seconds.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'll repeat it. Yeah, I know that.
Can you hear
it's
me?
Really.
Yep,
Yeah.
we can hear you
Yeah,
just
we can.
fine.
Trouble with the signal. I can remember. I heard the last thing I heard you say was that you're there for Rebecca and you watch her go through.
Right. Yeah. I see what she struggles with. Yeah, I see what she struggles with on a daily basis, and you know, so just the fact that you're putting yourself out there to help others is, it's, you know, it's
commendable.
Thank you. Yes, it's commendable. It's awesome.
You still hear us, Karen?
Thank you. I can hear you now. Yes, it's also incredibly validating.
I hope we haven't lost her.
Speaking in, okay, well, I'll keep. It's validating in that it means that my journey hasn't been for nothing, because yes, I've worked on my own recovery, but it validates my journey to be able to also pass on the lessons I've learned. Oh dear, can you hear me now? I've got a very good signal.
Yeah,
I
we
don't know
can.
what the problem is.
Yeah, I'm not real sure either.
I guess
mean,
it's
we've
just the
had
Atlantic between us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
the
There's
waters
a bit of a distance between us.
The waters are churning today, so it's causing a bit of an issue.
Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break. We will return in a few moments. And while we're on our break, we're going to be listening to one of our favorites, Sapphire Rain, and their song is called Live.
Guess I'm just looking for a reason to
Hey, welcome back to Voices for Change 2.0. I'm Joe, she's Rebecca, and that nice lady over there is Miss Karen Unrue from Bonnie Old England. How you doing, Karen? Thanks for being with us this morning, or this afternoon in your case.
Uh-oh.
Are you still there, Karen? Did we lose you?
Okay, it looks like we did lose our guest. So she, I'm sure, will be calling back. She has done a really good job of reconnecting with us if we've lost her today. It just goes to show you that technology isn't always our friend, but
Yep.
but we do our best.
Yeah, you never know what to expect in a live show, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Expect the unexpected. So I'm just going to pop onto our Twitter feed and see if anybody's got any questions. If you do, use the hashtag VFChange. Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here
Looks
now.
like- Oh,
Yay!
My phone actually keeps turning itself off, so I don't know why. It's obviously just signals. But I'm here. I'm here again. The British are coming. The British are coming.
Well, welcome back. We're glad to have you.
We're happy you're here. We missed you.
Yes, and while we've got you back, we're going to get these questions done sooner or later somehow.
Okay. I'm so sorry for this problem.
Oh, no worries.
It's okay.
No worries at all.
You know, it's believe me, it's not the worst thing we've ever had happen to us on a show.
No, that's for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're absolutely fine.
Okay.
Oh, it's my turn. Okay.
It's your turn.
So what type of services do you offer as a trainer?
I give training on anxiety management, on self-esteem building, which is a series of trainings, because you can't cover that in one afternoon.
No.
Assertiveness. I also do one that I've recently put together, which is how can I value myself when society tells me I'm worthless? And it's looking at the social construct of what a successful life is. And because when we get sidelined as people with mental health issues, we no longer fit that social construct of success, we then begin to feel like we are utter failures and not worth anything. And I feel it's vital that people realize that that idea of success is just a social construct. It is not reality. And that you can find a fulfilling life worth living that is your definition of success, and not to be paralyzed by not meeting society's idea of success.
I love that.
Yeah, definitely.
That's awesome. You know, everybody always has these preconceived notions of what a successful person is, and you know, you need to be able to build that in your own head, what being successful is to you as a person. And you know, the fact that you're helping people with that's great. I want to take that class.
Well, this is it. It's about what is a life well lived, you know, and in a capitalist consumerist society, they tell us a life well lived is to be earning enough to spend a lot so as to keep the capitalist system going, and to have material things. And the only thing that TV, adverts, and billboards ever sell us, the only product that ever needs to be sold to us, is discontent. And as long as we are made to feel discontent with the phone we have, or the car we have, or the face we have, or whatever, even though they're all working properly, we will never know contentment because they want us to buy the next product, their business going. So it's about stepping aside from this idea of discontentment because there's something better and bigger. And it's about saying, you know what, I'm going to find contentment by being authentic and loving who I am, and not by keeping the bloody capitalist system rolling.
Right.
I love that.
And you just recently came up with a hashtag for that,
Yes.
didn't you?
Yes.
Lay it on us.
Mental health lives matter. Because, quite rightly and appropriately, Black Lives Matter is an important banner and hashtag, without question. And, a few other people have also gone onto that bandwagon. And yet, in a way, mental health is one of the last taboos because it's an invisible battle that we fight. And mental health lives matter. Don't disregard us. Don't cast us aside. Don't assume we are just weak or pathetic or can't pull our finger out and get on with it. We're dealing with very real battles Exactly. So mental health lives matter.
Absolutely.
That's great.
And we've visited your blog, and you have titled it it's actually www.thetiltedroom.com. Now, can you tell us a little bit about why you chose that title and what that means for you?
Sure. In my abusive marriage, I lost all sense of self-worth, all sense of self-esteem, and after 10 years of being married, managed to get away, had to escape with my son. And when I began to try and figure out why I felt like I did, why my identity was so screwed up, why my perspectives were so distorted, as I began to work on recovery, I likened it to the fact that when you are with an abuser, at any stage in your life, but especially in a marriage or a partnership, it's as if that partner takes you to a room, opens the door and says, look, that room is tilted. And you go, no, it's not. It's not tilted at all. Everything's fine. And they go,
right.
Well, I see it as tilted. So you go, okay. And you get away with it for a while. And then eventually, on many times of being taken to the room, they'll say, look, this room is tilted. And you go, you're crazy. This room is not tilted. And then you are met by either a barrage of mental and emotional abuse, or you are physically abused, or both, to where in the end, you don't want that to happen anymore. So in order to take on your partner's perspective, in other words, never to get them mad again, you drop to one knee, you twist your head round, and you go, oh yeah, you're right, the room is tilted. In other words, I choose to distort my own perspectives in order to no longer anger you. And once you're out of abuse, in order to recover, it's about learning again to stand up and see the world through a correct perspective and no longer through the lies and the abuse of one's partner.
Wow. Yeah, that's all we can say.
That's all. Yeah. That's
amazing.
a lot deeper of a meaning than what I expected. I mean, that's. Oh, don't see you're not
Can
hearing
you hear
us.
me?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Can
Karen,
you hear me?
come back. Yes.
Yep, we hear you.
We hear you. Karen.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Yeah, we can.
Scott in the studio says we're fine, that we can, he hears us both.
Yeah.
So are you hearing us?
We're here. We promise.
All right, something seems like it's going wrong on her end, so we're going to jump to another commercial, I think. Scott, if you want to go ahead and shoot us a song, we will go out on that and see if we can get Karen back.
When the river is too wide to cross and the water is raging too fast, when we see the destination, but cannot make our way. We will build a bridge of brotherhood and cross the river at last. When the air is cold and black with hate, and the fog of condemnation burns our eyes, when the shadows of oppression keep us hidden from the sun, you can climb upon my shoulders until we reach the skies. For it is not enough to want it, need it, and deserving doesn't make it true. I believe hate fails and love prevails. Take a stand, demand justice overdue. Singing, no one can take what is not theirs to give. No one can break you or choose how you live. And I don't need permission to have what is mine. This is my reclamation. This is my right divine. I am weary of hostility, and I am saddened by the ugliness of fear. I'm confounded by morality that builds a bitter wall, but I will bear my heart to you so all the world will hear that it is not enough to want and need it, just to forward and delete. I believe hate fails and love prevails. Rejoice the charge, take our voices to the street, singing, no one can take what is not theirs to give. No one can break you or choose how you live. And I don't need permission to have what is mine. This is my reclamation. This is my right divine. For all those before us, for those yet to come, for the sons and the daughters of violent waters. No one can take what is not theirs to give. No one can break you or choose how you live. We won't go softly into the night. And this is our reclamation. This is my right. No one can take what is not theirs to give. No one can take it or choose how I live. And I don't need permission to have what is mine. This is my reclamation. This is my declaration to all of the nations. This is my life to shine.
Hey, welcome back to Voices for Change 2.0. I'm Rebecca, and my husband here is Joe. He is my wonderful co-host.
How's she going, eh?
We are speaking with the fabulous Karen Unrue this morning, afternoon in where she's at. We just left off with My Reclamation by Sam Harris, so we want to make sure we get his name out there. So, Karen, are you with us?
Yeah. I am with
Absolutely.
you.
Beautiful.
I don't know for how
Yay.
long, but I'm here.
Okay.
Karen, you are not only an advocate for the mental health community, but also for the LGBTQ community. Would you like to tell us
Yeah.
about that?
Okay. I'm not an advocate in the sense that I do any particular LGBTQ work, as in separate from my mental health work. But yes, I was 40 when I sort of finally came out to myself. And it was very, 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 very difficult because I knew I was an abomination, and that I would lose my church family, and I would lose perhaps my own family if I came out. So it was very difficult. So when I work with people now, if there is any issue with them being LGBTQ, then I have personal experience, and I work very much with them on that, because so many people, far too many people, commit suicide, especially those that realize that those who've been raised within church environments, and they realize that, or they believe that they are an abomination, and that they will be ostracized or exorcised or sent to some ridiculous place where they try and change your sexuality. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm an LGBTQ MNSOP. I don't know how many letters are going to get added. Advocate in the sense that is very much incorporated in what I do. Yeah.
And we are fortunate to be on a LGBTQ network ourselves. We are allies.
Yes.
We are proud of that fact.
We're honored to be on this network.
Absolutely.
And, just in case we haven't told you this, Scott, we love you.
Yes, we love you, Scott.
And also those of us in England who are watching the circus, which is Trump land, very much, stand by the LGBT community who are looking at maybe having reversed all the advances that happened under Obama, and, our thoughts are very much with you.
Yeah, that's a real sore spot for me. Well, anything Trump does is a real sore spot for me. But yeah, I just,
we
the
don't
whole
thing.
thing.
We don't want to go too far into that though, because we don't want to.
No.
But
my whole feeling is, this country was founded on the notion of equality, and there are so many different people. Oh no.
No.
Are you there, Karen? Because I had a really good point to make. I think we might have lost her.
Yeah, looks like we probably lost her again.
I'll say this anyway because it's kind of an important thing. Is so many people over the course of the founding of this country have fought so hard to gain their rights. Women with the right to vote. Blacks with the right to vote, and just all that, to finally see the LGBTQ community start to get a founding of equality that everybody else has enjoyed for so long, and to see an administration that, and I mean it's him, but it's also the states. Threatened to suddenly pull the rug out. It angers me. There should be equal footing for everybody in this country, regardless of everything. Regardless of what they.
Absolutely.
There you are. Are you back?
Absolutely. Yes, I'm back now.
Yay.
I'm back. No, I totally agree. And we're not just talking LGBTQ, but when it comes to mental health, or any kind of chronic illness, a society tends to be judged by its gross national product, when in actual fact, I believe a society should be judged by how it treats its vulnerable. And we in the West are not good at that.
No, we're really not.
So you have actually a book coming out very soon with a fascinating title. It's called Blue Jellyfish Syndrome, and I've been waiting for a couple of days for you to tell me what that title means to you.
Okay. My book is about beating stigma and how to maintain hope while living with a mental illness. And a lot of the problem with mental health is that we get labeled. And they're scary labels. They're things like schizoaffective disorder and borderline personality disorder and psychosis and, the schizophrenia. These are terrifying sounding things, And I had a client who I had been seeing for some weeks, And I had discerned that she had borderline personality disorder, but I was not a quote-unquote professional, so I did not feel it was my place to suggest or say that to her. But I treated her accordingly. We did that kind of work. And then one day she came into my office and she was just in bits. I mean, she was just in pieces. And I said, my God, I said, what's the matter? She said, oh, I've just been to the psychiatrist and I've just received my diagnosis. And I said, yeah. She said, I've got borderline personality disorder. I'm a freak. I sound scary. I mean, my God. And she was really, upset. So I said to her, well, a psychiatrist has to put a label on it because they need to know what medicine and therapy to throw at you. But the label itself isn't important. I said, do you feel any
Aw, shucks. It sounds like she's gone. So, boy, we've really been put through the test
the
today.
ringer. It's been put through the ringer with this.
Testing whether or not we're professional podcasters this morning.
Yeah, I feel so terrible because I really wanted to hear how that ended too.
Yeah, I really want. She'll be back. She'll explain the story. But Scott, if you think it's appropriate to possibly play another song until we get her back, or otherwise we can just
we can just talk.
We can just chat a little bit.
Chat a little bit.
If you weren't already aware, those of you that have read my book, I am coming out with a second edition of my book. Joe is helping me a great deal with that because some of the technical stuff, it just warps my brain. I can't do much with it. So Joe's helping me with the harder parts, and this time we really think we're going to put out a better product than the first time around. And we're excited about it. It's in the hands of Ingram Spark at this point. They're in communication with CreateSpace, which is who prints for Amazon. The book will still be available on Amazon. Lord knows I don't want to leave any of those reviews behind. But I worked really hard to get those, so I don't want to leave those behind. So, Karen, are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you. How far did I get in that explanation? Because I talked on happily to myself for ages.
We heard up until the point where she came back to you and told you that she had borderline personality disorder.
Yeah, and she was really freaked out by this. And so I said to her, look, darling, psychiatrists have to give you a label because they use that label to decide what therapy and medicines to throw at you. But do you feel any different? Are your issues any different? And she said, no. So I said, okay, from now on, we are not going to refer to this as borderline personality disorder. We're going to refer to it as blue jellyfish syndrome because your psychiatrist's label does not define you. And I said, do you mind being a blue jellyfish? And she went, no, I have no problem at all being a blue jellyfish. So we carried on. We carried on with BPD treatment, but only ever referred to it if it came up as blue jellyfish syndrome because psychiatrists give us these scary labels and then we feel defined by them, when in actual fact, we're just unwell, and it doesn't matter what the label is. I personally like to think I have pink flamingo condition, so that's why I called it that.
Well, that's a cool idea. It takes some of the scary out of it, and definitely for your clients, it helps them feel a little bit better. When is the book coming out?
Oh, it's at the now, and I've just okayed the cover design, and I'm just waiting. I'm not a very patient person, so I'm just waiting for them to go, hey, now you can look on Amazon, it's there. So any day now.
Awesome.
Oh, that's great.
Because we're going to ask where you can purchase it too. So
it'll be available on Amazon?
It'll be available on Amazon as an ebook. I couldn't afford to do a book yet, but I will have it out as a book at some point, because I prefer to hold a book, and I think quite a few people do. But
Right.
I never realized there was so much money involved in publishing. So it's only an ebook at the moment. But yes, it'll be available through Amazon.
Awesome.
I'm very excited about it, yeah.
Yeah, that is exciting. You know, it was exciting when we put Beck's book out a while ago, and you know we were just talking before you came back that we're working on the second edition of her book right now, and you know, really excited about getting that out. So yeah, it's a great feeling when you get the thing out there and you know get a positive response from people, and I'm sure you will.
Oh, I hope so, because it's everything I've learned. Not everything. It's a lot. You know, it's what I've learned that you want to then pass on because it validates your journey as well as helping others. Yeah.
Exactly.
So what do you usually like to do for your free time when you're not helping people or writing or blogging or what have you?
I do a bit of lap dancing. No, I don't.
You did that to me the other day too, and I was just sitting there. Oh, okay, sure. Mm-hmm. You know,
Girl's got to make money somehow. Well, I'm the primary carer for my father. I live with my father. I left London a year ago to live with him because he has very bad dementia. So between everything, I love to watch movies. I love to go for walks in the country. I love to go out and have scones and tea. I love spending time with friends and just shooting the breeze. I love watching burlesque and cabaret. I go into London when I can and have a few friends involved in that industry. And I paint.
Oh, wow, those are all great things.
And what is it, like abstract stuff that you paint, or are you painting countrysides, or what do you like to paint?
We were on a roll.
We lost her again.
We lost her again.
That sucks.
Yeah, well, we are getting pretty close to being at the end of the show.
Okay,
hey,
I'm back.
She's back. Yay.
Hey. So we were asking what type of things you like to paint, if it's countrysides or
abstract or portraits or.
It's kind of abstract. I find it very cathartic to do artwork based on understanding my condition or taking what's inside my head about my condition and putting it onto canvas or paper. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh,
yep.
God.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I think she just said bloody
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Karen.
We're actually getting tweets now. We have a very good friend named Erica on Twitter who is trying to listen to the show, and she's laughing her head off, and she's saying, "Come back, Karen," and we're laughing too. That's really all you can do.
Yeah. Yay.
I'm back. I'll tell you very quickly. I like to paint things that are about my inner world and put them on the canvas, so it's more sort of cathartic. There you go. Quickly squeeze that in.
Yay, we answered a question. Oh my goodness. You know what? Despite all the technical difficulties, this has been a fun interview, and you know, what we'll do is once your book is out and you've got a couple of months under your belt of promoting that, we will have you come back on the show and see if we can get it going a little bit smoother the next time around.
That'll be fantastic. But it's been a delight to chat to you guys. Not many years ago, we couldn't have chatted at all across the Atlantic without spending loads of money, so mustn't knock it, hey?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we love talking with you, Karen, and you know, if there's anything we can do to help get the word on your book, in addition to just having you on the show, you know, we will absolutely do that.
Yes,
Thank
please
you.
do tag me or even just email me the information that you have when the book comes out, and I'll be happy to send it out to my followers as well. So hopefully we can
Oh, brilliant. That'd be
get
absolutely
you on the New
brilliant.
York Times bestseller list there, lady.
Positively, yes. And I'll do the same with your book, your new edition. I'll have my followers read it.
Lovely. That would be lovely.
We would love that very much.
Yeah, so we're going to wrap it up just for the sake of, you know, being still connected with you. We don't want to lose you again, so we're going to wrap it up just a tiny bit early this morning. But we have been so glad to talk to you. You've been a delight, and, you know, we wish you nothing but the best with your book. And, you know, my thoughts are with you, with your father. You know, I mentioned to you that, you know, my father is in early stages of dementia as well. And so I completely understand. So if you just want to stay on the line. Sure.
Can I just say a very quick hi to any of my Twitter followers who are listening, and thank you so much for tuning in. Love you all.
Aw, that's beautiful. If you would like to just stay on for just a couple of minutes here, Karen, we're going to
I'll try.
Wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up with a song called All My Life from Tom Goss.
All my life I've said goodbye to that I know to the truth, but you're my life, so I'll try to hold on to you. When we first kissed, lying side by side, I'll always deny it, but I was crying. You held me tight. All my life I said goodbye to that I know to be true, but you're my life, so I'll try to hold on to you. And so I beg, please keep me honest. And I know how to close, I don't know how to open, and you kept your word. All my life I said goodbye to that I know to be true, but you're my life, so I'll try to hold on to you. Oh,
us next week as Rebecca and Joe continue to battle the stigma of mental illness. Follow us on Twitter at Voices for Change RJ and on Facebook at Voices for Change 2.0.